So you literally just verbatim repeated to Mike the things that we had a conversation about?
I don't think we talked.
I'm so mad.
I don't think we talked about that.
I'm done.
Steve Kornacki, great stuff as always. Thanks so much.
Okay, Steve Kornacki. All right,
For more on where the
let's do a little poll watch. Fuck it, dude. You wanted it all day.
All right.
race
Steve
stands
Kornacki
and
time.
just who the voters are that the campaigns may still be able to persuade. I'm joined by national political correspondent Steve Kornacki.
It's about getting them
Steve,
out to
this
vote.
race is incredibly tight in the home stretch.
Yeah, absolutely, Kristen. One thing we have noticed in the last couple of days, this is
What is it about late at night? I just want a French fry.
I don't know.
Like, what is it about late at night that I just want a French fry just dipped and lathered in ranch?
Oh,
I
Jesus.
don't know what about it.
America's not a real country. I swear to God. How do I explain any of this shit to any normal human?
not all of the polls that are out there now, but we have seen a number, 4 in the last 4 days, that have shown very small, but in the context of this close race, potentially meaningful movement in Trump's direction. I don't want to overstate it, but at the same time, it's hard to ignore these 4. The CNBC poll came out the other day, has Trump ahead by 2. The Wall Street Journal poll, Trump ahead by 3. These are national numbers. Siena and the New York Times.
I just don't buy it.
What, oh, you don't buy it?
No.
No, the actual argument is, oh, these are general election polls. It doesn't matter. These are national polls.
That's why I don't buy it.
The Electoral College is how you win elections,
Exactly.
baby.
That's why I don't buy it.
A reality that Hillary Clinton had to learn in 2016.
I'm not looking at any polls. And by the way, all the things
That's
that I
a lie. You literally only look at polls.
No, I look at early voting numbers, okay? That's my new thing. Early voting numbers, that's what I look at, okay?
There's this one guy on my TikTok timeline all the time. He always like, I'm not worried. Kamala Harris is winning. Here's why. And I see him all the time. And
that's stupid because you have to be worried. There's a chance they could be right, but most likely not.
Tied race, CNN, a tied race. The significance here is broader movement. Again, we're seeing in Trump's direction. To put this in some context, here is our current national polling average. Let me call that up on the screen for you right here. Harris continues to lead nationally. I want to stress that, but we've been tracking this.
by the way, I'm gonna have Greg Kazar on tomorrow.
Every week on the air here. A couple weeks ago, this number was at 3 for Kamala Harris. Her lead in the poll average now down to 1.2 because of some of the numbers that
come on, man. Really? Like in the last week?
Damn, poll averages show Arizona up by 1, Georgia up by 1.2, Michigan, Kamala Harris is only up by 0.6, Nevada is tied, North Carolina up by 8.
Like you're telling me with no significant things happening in the campaign, all of a sudden things start to magically trend by 2 points in the aggregate on the national level? Did something significant happen?
I mean, the closer it gets, the more you start hearing from mid and low propensity voters.
Potentially. That's a good point.
The closer the election gets.
That's a good point.
The more people start going, wait, is there an election in like a week? What? Uh-oh.
That's fair.
That's a
fair point.
I just showed you. Of course, the swing states, the battleground states are going to
Yes, this is the guy.
Has Donald Trump up in the national vote. You can do yourself a favor and go ahead and disregard that poll. There is a 0% chance that Donald Trump will win the national vote. The Republicans have won one popular vote in 34
Okay, this I do disagree with, by the way. I don't know why he's saying that. Like, some of his analysis is sound. I don't know why he thinks that, like, there's no shot the Republicans win the national
years.
Or the general
It ain't never
not the
gonna
general election, but
happen.
the popular
And
vote.
on top of that, he ain't ever won the national vote. He ain't even come close. This idea that he's going to make up 8 million votes, it's never going to happen. The only thing those polls are good for is checking the crosstabs, seeing the makeup of the vote. That's literally it. Donald Trump's probably going to lose by like 5 points. Maybe more. This election's going to come down to a handful of states. That's it. And a handful of votes in those handful of states. But every day, I get tagged in those videos. People using it as evidence for why Trump is going to win or the Dems are going to lose. Stop freaking out. It's okay.
And then it's every single person in the comments being like, you gave me hope. I'm so scared. And one day I'm going to see Austin's name. That's why I look at his.
I don't.
I go to
comment.
the comments directly when I see his.
I silently watch the.
I go to the comments directly when I see him show up on my TikTok to see if Austin has responded like, "You give me hope."
No,
I'm scared every day.
I don't listen to these people because I feel like I could be in his spot telling people the same thing. Like I've heard every piece of copium that there is to be heard.
To be what decide this election. And look how close those are. We see 1.2 nationally. Just about all these swing states are
close.
even tighter than that. So Trump certainly a little improvement nationally,
really
but where the race is decided, absolutely razor thin. But what is happening nationally? Well, we can show you from the CNBC poll. They picked up on something that our own NBC poll was suggesting recently, and that is a shift in the image of Kamala Harris. You can see right now in the CNBC poll, 42 positive, 48 negative. Higher negative than positive. That's where Trump is too, largely 39-49. The significance is about a month ago when we were polling this, Harris had a higher positive than negative. In our poll, in the CNBC poll, in other polls out there right now, you see Harris now with that negative going back above that positive rating. That said, tons of uncertainty and volatility remain in this race. Check this out. We can show you this morning also from that CNBC poll, looking at this question of persuadable voters, defining them this way. How about this? 12% in the CNBC poll who currently say they support Harris or Trump say that they could change their mind.
That's like how do you make that flip? Like, I just don't understand. Like how someone's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I might just decide all of a sudden. Like, this is, God. Every time I look at stuff like this, I'm like, maybe democracy is not the best idea. It's so stupid. Oh man, I really haven't heard enough. Like,
another 6% say they're undecided or currently going to vote for a third-party candidate. That's a persuadable category of 18%. That's getting close to 1 in 5 voters here. And the uncertainty is particularly acute for Donald Trump. We tell you, maybe he's made some gains.
It's just funny because, like, Donald Trump is maxed out on name recognition. Kamala Harris is the current vice president. Sure, like, maybe people didn't know what her policies were. Maybe they didn't know who she was or whatever. But like, you know, at this point, you probably should have figured it out, right? Like what the it's not like one of those situations where it's like, wait a minute, let me hear out who this Trump guy is. Okay. I don't know about. Okay. I'll bite. What's Trump? What's a Donald Trump? Give me, you know, I'll listen to what you have to say.
Here, but his support continues to run deepest with voters who it is unclear if they're actually going to turn out and vote. Look at it this way. From our NBC polling, a merge of all of our data, those who voted in the 2020 presidential election and the 2022 midterms, Harris with a 6-point lead, the most reliable block of voters. Those who only voted in the 2020 presidential, that's where Trump opens up a lead. And then those who didn't vote in either, that's where Trump has his biggest advantage over Harris. Are they actually going to vote this time around? Huge question mark.
Although,
another way to look at it,
is 10 points enough? But that's a national poll.
Yeah. 10 points on low propensity voters? Yes.
Okay, but it's a national poll. It's hard to say.
Yes. That's insane, Austin. I can't believe you just said, is 10 points enough in the largest group of, like, that is literally not just 10 points. It's 10 points in, like, I think the largest block out of the 3.
I don't know.
The problem is, are they going to actually vote? That's the real question.
Yeah.
And also, are they in the 7 states? Because, like,
that's what I'm
you
saying.
can have everyone in Florida go out and vote. That's not going to change the dynamic. It's actually just going to do the funniest thing possible, which is give Trump the popular vote and then have Kamala eke out a marginal victory through the Electoral College.
What's 7? What does this mean? What is this part of the poll?
Interest in election.
We ask folks, scale of 1 to 10, your interest in this election. Again, look at this. Those who rate it the highest, 9 or 10, races tied, 7 or 8, pretty high. Harris is ahead. Here's where Trump cleans up. Those who say 1 to 6. So again, Trump relying on a coalition that if they turn out could be powerful for him, Kristen, but that's a big if.
Powerful indeed, and those persuadable voters in focus in these final.
Holy shit. Trump has a 16-point lead in a 1 to 6 interest in the election. That's insane.
That makes
days
sense
of the race
to me.
This is what I was telling you. Again, another thing that I don't know if you stole from me and talked about, but it's like I told Austin earlier this morning, if you ever hear him say this, know where the talking point came from, that like there are more pro-Trump people out there than there are pro-Kamala people out there. 100%.
Hold on. Wait, before you say that, I literally said that to Mike earlier. I told him, I said,
I'm going to kick you.
No. I told him, I said, there are more people out there that want to vote for Trump than want to vote for Kamala Harris. The question is in the election, are there going to be more people that are voting against Trump or more people voting for Trump? Those are the two categories that you're looking at.
You're butchering the thing I told you.
No, I'm not butchering
That's
it.
crazy.
I'm not butchering
That's crazy. You literally just verbatim repeated to Mike the things that we had a conversation about.
I don't think we talked.
I'm so mad.
I don't think we talked about that.
I'm done.
Steve Kornacki, great stuff as always. Thanks so much.